Welcome! So today we're going to look at editing the footage that we got from the A Part of Me guitar cover. Sparky says hello, everybody. Sparky's the studio dog. Come on, up. There he is, everyone. He says that he trusts me to edit it fine without his supervision, but he's going to be hanging around just in case we need any help. So thank you, Sparky. Yes. So first thing that I'm going to do is open Final Cut Pro. So I've never recorded the screen whilst I've also been editing video, so if this is glitchy then please bear with me. Other brands are available, but a beverage is needed for this kind of work. A Part of Me. We shot it in 1080, normally I'll shoot it in 4K. Now I'm going to import the footage. So what I can do with the Part of Me 1, 2, 3 and 4 is add that to the original track. Here we are. And we make a multicam clip from this. We'll call it Part of Multi. And this is very, very cool and it's super, super helpful. So once we drag this into the timeline, you can see that we've got our angle viewer here. Now the audio part of it, I want that to be just the track, and I'm only going to change the angles on the video. So the audio is coming only from this track, regardless of what video edit I make. And then we'll play back, and you'll see all of those other guitar parts kick in. So we only really need it from when the audio starts. I'm going to do this slightly differently than normal when it comes to editing, purely because I want there to be bits in the edit that you would have seen in the video that I uploaded previously, where I'm showing how to record these videos. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add some color correction to this. And I want to be in my color editing view, and let's look at the exposure. And then here's an interesting fact that I read. So it was in reference to Instagram post, and it said that you're statistically more likely to like something or to be engaged by something if it has blue tints in it, which I thought was quite interesting. So I tend to always put hints of blue into my videos. And then we just change the angle that we're viewing here to another one, and then I just methodically work through all of them until I have all of them edited or color corrected to where I want them to be. What I love about this tool is it's so easy to use, and the whole multicam thing just makes life a breeze compared to trying to sync up 4 different tracks. Or if you're referencing the music video, which I've done in some of the other videos that I've done, you've got then say 4 different angles plus some live footage, maybe plus some video. That's 6 sets of footage that you have to get in time, let alone the 1 and the 2 guitar parts, maybe a third if there's a solo, and the actual track. It's a lot of stuff to get in time. So multicam clips, because it synchronizes based on the audio, which means if you're playing along to something, everything's going to be in time and you haven't had to do anything. And then what's also very cool about the way that multicam editing works on here is it means that you basically have to watch the video back in full maybe 2 or 3 times, because you can edit live. So if you know there's a bit coming up that you want to cut to a different angle, you just cut as you're watching the playback, which I think is amazing. So we've got our multicam clip there with color graded individual parts. And what's also going to be useful at this point is if we add in the guitar parts that I've recorded. And this is where you do have to do a little bit of manual adjustment in terms of timing. So that's roughly in sync as far as I can hear at the moment. And what I'm also going to now do is trim any footage, trim any audio that's coming afterwards, because we don't need all of that stuff, and then go through and systematically chop out the bits that are quiet. So first bit, the introduction, there isn't any audio that I was playing, no guitar parts there. And then here, what I'm going to do is just cut this bit out where I was trying to emulate the keyboard part, but it doesn't sound good. So and what's also useful is we can add in these fades, another great tool in Final Cut. And this is not to hide anything, let's be clear. This is purely just to make sure that the signal to noise that's going on is as little as possible. I don't want there to be any unnecessary noise on the track. There's already like plenty of guitar parts on the original song, right? So if we go and add another bunch of noise on top, it's just going to sound really messy, and it's totally unnecessary. We don't need to have all of that on there. I get that this video could potentially be slightly boring to those who are not interested in what goes on behind the scenes for this, but it has been requested a number of times, and I have said I would do it a number of times. Now this long part at the end here is where, if you recall on the original video that I shot where it's like the behind the scenes in terms of the filming part, I just carried on filming and did like a recap. So I'm just going to cut all of that out because we don't need it. Now if you're a subscriber, thank you, and you would have already seen this. But if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I have a particular ending that I use for my videos from the Limp Bizkit cover that I did of It'll Be Okay. And I really like it, so I'm just going to keep on using that for my endings. So I detached the audio purely because I don't need this original clip from Limp Bizkit here. I'll do. It's good to have the audio. In fact, it's imperative to have the audio meter in the workflow so you can see how loud everything is. That is too loud already, so I know that I need to bring some things down and play about with some levels. So let's do that first. So that's just on the cusp, but I know that by adding 2 more guitar parts to it, it's gonna mean that the whole thing is much louder. So let's bring this down to maybe like -3, so that when I add this first guitar part in, I can see the impact that guitar part's having. Notice that it's louder on the left side. This in fact is the left guitar part, so and now it's just a case of playing through the video and making the edits. Right, so what we're doing now is I'm just going to finish the last part of the edit. So I want to demonstrate to you the awesome ease of using the Multicam editor. These are the different streams of video that's coming in at the same time, and then this is the final edit, or the playback. So what you'll see is over here, I've already made some edits to this, I just need to finish it off. So that was an edit point there. We can just basically select each cut that we want to just by clicking on it now. So and we can move some things around afterwards. And there we go. And you'll notice these little line things here, these dots, and this almost like a pie chart looking thing. It's just showing me how much render is left to do. The good thing about Final Cut is you don't have to render to watch one of your potential edits back. It does background rendering. But what I'm actually going to do now is I'm not going to carry on in Final Cut. I need to make a thumbnail for this. So I'm going to quit Final Cut. What I'm going to do now is look at the images for Story of the Year, so I can use one for my thumbnail. Good thing about this is I can go into the tools and choose one that's bigger than 2 megapixels, and this always narrows down to the ones that look the best. In fact, I may just use this for now. So now let's open Photoshop and let's get my thumbnail Photoshop document up. So this is like a template that I use, and it's got some things like inner glows and some fonts, and it is the right size for me to export from as well. So I just always go back to it instead of creating a new one each time. So there you can see my last one that was made, which was the Fight Star guitar cover. We'll drag this into here. And because this is a square image on a landscaped canvas, I'm going to need to zoom in a little bit. Then what I can do is I'll add an inner glow. Just makes it pop out a little bit more when you're looking at the thumbnails. And then all I'm going to do is just add some text. It says Mocha Latte, guitar cover, and the name of the song. I'm intrigued to know if anyone does this differently, and if you can save me some time, then that'd be incredible, because this always does take a little while. And that's not necessarily just the thumbnail that I'm making now. I mean the whole edit. Like, how do you do your videos? I'm intrigued. So then I save for web, and this is because it makes a smaller version of it. I'm not a graphic designer or anything, and I don't really know, other than what I've done on here, how to use Photoshop, but I know that saving for web is better for the web. So I put that in a part of me folder, get out of Photoshop and back into Final Cut. And then the last thing for me to do would be to import that new image that I've just made, stick it to the front, and then watch it back another time just to make sure that I'm happy with it, and make sure there's no little tiny edits that I've messed up that I may not notice watching it back the very first time. So let's import that new picture that we've just made. There it is. Yep, so that works. And now the last thing that I do is, and I don't even know if this works sometimes or not, so please let me know what you think. I'm very much up for getting feedback, so if you don't like some of the videos that I'm putting up, or you're bored of the channel, or whatever it is, please let me know, so that I can learn and I can make things better for what you guys want. And then we share. Normally it would be 4K, in this case it's 1080p. And once that file's been created, I then upload it to YouTube as anybody else would do. So that's it. So what we've just done is, so let's think about the 3 videos. One would be how to figure out a song and slowing it down using Logic Pro and Varispeed. Second would be my video on how to film and record your guitar cover, and then this completes the trilogy of how to make a guitar cover video by showing you my process to editing the video. I really hope that this has been helpful. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and keep coming back for more. If there's anything else that I can help with, or another video that you think would be useful, then please let me know. And please share me your videos, because if you've used any of these techniques in your future upcoming guitar cover videos, I'd love to see them. So drop me a message or link it to one of my videos, and I will definitely look at it and give you some feedback on there. So I'm on Instagram as well if you wanted to search for Mocha Latte. Mocha Latte _ We Do Guitars, I think it is. If not, I will correct it. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down at the bottom so I can see what your thoughts are. Have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you next time.